almost done. Almost done with this deck. Finished all the Sikaflex today, but spent a lot of the day doing some research and taking measurements regarding the fuel system, mainly new tanks. I've decided not to use that old tank because it's just after 3 o'clock and it's almost quitting time. I just really want to get the compass mounted. I don't have the wire for it yet for the light, but I can add that later. I need another morale boosting thing, and let's hope it doesn't turn into a debacle, because it will be dark in a couple hours. Will be perfect for that. Well, maybe not. I should have cleaned it off. Should have polished it first, maybe. Oh, that's fine. That's good. That'll provide a nice seal for my wire. Do these holes go all the way through? No. I don't know if I'm going to use this to drill my holes, because I thought one of these was bent or twisted. It's actually just loose. There are set screws, which is beautiful. Gaff constellation. Ooh, ah. Do I want the screw gun for this operation? Yeah, quite adjustable. There's no compass card mounted on this boat, which would tell you if there's any deviation on certain headings due to any iron in the boat, like the engine, which is a couple feet below this thing. So I'm assuming, let's see, it's definitely varying somewhat. Interesting. I'm assuming it was set up correctly, and I have it marked exactly how it was oriented. I don't think I'm going to need to swing this compass. In other words, take a handheld compass way to the front of the boat, or have somebody hold it, and then turn the boat to various headings and compare what the uninfluenced compass says compared to this one. But if I have to, I have to. It's not a big deal. Oh, that's the screw gun. You can see how that influences it. And this is a big wad of steel too. Watch that. Not so much that. How about that? Oh yeah, yeah. Look at that. Mounting hardware. Ooh. Navigation yet. I think one of them. I'll align them radially with the center. Nice. Man, I need a shower. It's been a very sweaty day. Even when I was inactive, it's hot and muggy. I feel tempted to turn this 90 so it's straddling the seam better. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I like that better. It'll be stronger and less of a chance. I might do the same with the others, because there's a bit of asymmetry here with the plank thickness variation. Also, I want to make sure my trim isn't probably not going to come out more than that. But if I turn these 90, or better yet, turn these radially, I think that's pretty cool. These holes are keepers, so I really gotta. I can see it's not quite centered up. There's a little more of a gap between the plate and the pedestal on that side. Oh. I definitely had a moment of sheer panic there. I was like, what, this isn't possible. Can't be off by 6 inches. Be off by a tiny bit, but not that much. What's the matter, you? There we have it. Tomorrow, I'll get some longer screws, drive them up from below, get rid of that blue tape, and call it done. Wow. It's dirty. I got to sand more, and this is dirty. And I can still see little bits of varnish stain, but it's weathering up pretty nicely so far. I'm happy with this deck. I'm really happy it's done. Oh yeah, it is most definitely 4 o'clock. Hit a little cover on for tonight. Pretty good. Not bad. Well, that's handy. Well, it's kind of a cloudy day. No rain was forecast for today as of late last night, but we've already had a pop-up squall while I was out getting breakfast. I had the entire deck uncovered. I had a bunch of power tools out. So the sanding and finishing up of seams and such is on hold until this dries out, but I can't fully expose it because it could start dumping rain at any moment. And of course I have to work on the ground on the chop saw. There's really no room to cut the pieces I need. It'd be easier to just leave it down there, go down there, uncover it, make a cut, throw the tarp back on, come up here, fit it, fine tune it, install it, go back down, throw the tarp off, make the cut, etc., etc., etc. So it's going to be slow going today. I'm probably barely going to make a dent in this. So I'm just going to measure and cut and fit these one agonizing piece at a time. The thing that happened when it rained was that I left a block plane sitting here, and aside from the fact that plane is going to get a little rusty, it left this stain. I've already started trying to scrape and sand that. I'm hoping once the sander dries out enough to be safe to use, I'll be able to keep sanding this down and get rid of most of that. But that's really annoying. This deck isn't even really done yet, and it's already got a weird stain on it. Bummer. I don't know if having an oiled finish or even varnish on this would have helped. It's just a filthy old plane shoe. I guess that should be a lesson to keep my tools cleaner or something. Any more sanding until I did the trim, but I don't think the trim's going to happen today at the rate we're going here. Wow, of course this is a proper squall with heavy wind. I don't know if this tarp can take it. What's left of the tarp? I just don't know. Yeah, a few rounds with the finish sander, and I got rid of the stain and some of the linseed oil and varnish stains. Could use a little more. I may have to touch up my Sikaflex around the edges again. There's still some voids, but we're looking really good. I wet this with a very damp cloth. It's looking damn good. Pretty. Start with the tricky one first. That's the cutout for the pedestal. I'm gonna freehand this on a jigsaw. Yeah, we're gonna try it. We'll sand the face of it later. Not bad. One little gap for caulk. Wow. I barely measured that. Now, we're gonna have a little problem here. You can see it already. Because of the camber. Because of the camber. How are we gonna rectify that? No, I see I already... I measured this so carefully. Why does that happen? This face here wants to be even with that so that this stands up a little bit to lock into the teak. So now I have a very large gap. But what I could do, I guess, is could reduce my gap a little bit. I could shorten this up because I'm going to have to shave part of it off without shaving this face, if I can help it. So I think I'm going to go with it. Okay. So this is how this is supposed to work. It's going to lock in like that. Because I have to take this down to match this curve, and this down to match this curve. I anticipated this. It's not a total surprise, but still, now that I'm looking at it, I'm wondering how I'm going to do it. I just thought of something else. If I'm going to cheat it to minimize how much I have to shave, I could bring it all the way down here. But this will not. Yeah, that won't work. Then I'll have to camber the whole back side of this thing. No, that's not going to work. I can actually, I can get a little bend across the grain on this. Interesting. I hadn't thought that I'd be able to. Let me try something. It's a little uneven there. How did that get like that? Get as close as I can. I can shave that in a minute. All right. Let's try that. That would be cool if this works. Let's do a little bit on the very end. Don't overdo it. That's in about level. So that'll lock. Well, I have to shave it, but that'll lock in good enough. Well enough. I'm not going to steam this thing. Ain't going to happen. I cheated a little bit. Leave a little tiny gap there. That's too big. But I don't know. It's just this one thin piece, so it might want to bend like a piece of molding or something. Maybe. Maybe not. Rabbit is a little too narrow on that. No. There's binding right here. That's part of the problem. And you know, the whole thing's over to port a little too much. A little bit that way. Just opened up this notch a little bit. Not very well, I'm afraid. Not as pretty as it was before, but that's okay. This is probably going to get painted, I think. I don't know yet. Nice. It's barely fighting me. Very nice. That miter's a little short in the corner there, but that's okay. It'll all be hidden under that teak. Well, that saved me a lot of trouble. I hope. This is going to need some extra. Got no way to clamp it. I need a sky clamp. Or maybe my foot. Wow. I need a helper. I need someone to stand on this. Okay, I think I could use this 12-volt socket hole, which I'm not going to use, but it's too small. Dang it. Well, let me try to get this here as close as I can, eh? But I've already got that other screw there, so it doesn't really help me. Shoot. Might be close enough. We'll see if it cracks. Probably gonna crack at the screw holes. Well, maybe not. It's riding a little high there, but I can shave this down a little bit. The bottom edge, it looks pretty symmetrical. This thing is not dead level, which doesn't help, but I think it's going to be all right. I'm not going to go for the teak yet. I'm going to continue. I'm going to save these little corner funny bits for last. All right, so we know that one's going to be from the long corners 27 1/4 shy at 35 degrees, which is half of this. This is about 70. Kind of best practice to divide it in half. Yeah. All right. Not fantastic. These compound miters are more compoundy than I would have expected, and also my saw, because it's a smaller one, I couldn't really make that happen. If I had to, I probably would have tried to do those by hand if that were a finished joint, but it's all going to get filled up and painted, and it's really not critical. The miters on the teak are going to be far more important, but it went on pretty well. Got a little planing to do to bring it all down level, and some areas of this are a little bit thicker than they need to. It'll be easier to take it off here than to take it out of the notch in the teak. As for the corners, I'm going to wait, because the corner pieces of teak, things may not line up. If I just fit another piece of this in there, it may not work out. So I may wind up that's all sealed up. Might wind up overhanging with the teak in there and maybe gluing a block of black locust in there without the without the fancy rabbit. But progress, we like it. Notice I opened up my horrible hole. I have a new idea for fuel tankage we're going to look at later this week that does not involve having fuel tanks right under here anymore. So instead, I got 2 of these for 35 bucks in the unboxed. I'm going to use these. I'm going to cut this out more. Use these to hide this mess and also to create lazarette storage. I don't know what I'm going to do inside. I think for now I'm just going to stuff whatever will fit in there and then deal with that later. You know, a box or a net or something. Same thing on this side, although it'll have to be offset because the engine of the throttle box is right here. This one will come forward a little. I might do that this week too. But right now it's about cleanup time. It's very nearly beer o'clock. It's almost 6 o'clock. A good day, I think. Definitely a fitful start to the day, but I think we made some progress. And Thursday, maybe tomorrow evening, I'll have a little time. I don't know how long this gig is going to take tomorrow, and it starts at 1 p.m. so it could just blow a giant hole in the day. So we shall see. It's Saturday morning now, and I didn't get much done yesterday on the cockpit trim, but I did a lot of shopping and a lot of figuring about next steps. It was so god awful wicked hot and humid yesterday. It was hard to work back here, even under the cover of this thing. Today it's mid 80s, probably go up to about 90, but there's a good 10-knot breeze blowing, so I might survive the day. I've started with some gluing and stuff of the vertical face of the trim. While that epoxy is curing, I'm going to move on to making my holes, cleaning up these holes to dress them with these really cool hatches that I got for 35 bucks for the pair, unused. If I can just figure out how to open it. I'm going to set them up to open this way. And I am going to go with my original plan to put fuel tanks back in here. I have them. So these aren't going to do much good for storage. A little bit. I might figure out a way to put in netting or a pocket or something so I can make make use of that space so that I can make use of the whatever little space is left over after the tanks are installed. Well, that's going to be a problem. Anyway, it's a simple, elegant solution to this problem. At some point, I may redo the whole inside face of this thing, but it's okay. First, I think I'm going to put some tape on there and try to outline. Alrighty. Well, it'll certainly make it easier to clean up here. I gotta get, really need these now, but they've been kicking around. I've got a lot of parts on the boat right now and in the van. It's, yeah, getting things installed is good right now. Yeah, so that's still ugly, but maybe I'll try to fill that with something. At least when it's... Watch, it just doesn't want to close when it's in there. Why? What is it? I mean, it goes in, but if I open it, and then try to close it again, it won't close. Yeah. When I paint all this, I'll cover these up. Another reason I'm going to put them in place today, although not fully bedded, is because I have to work tonight. I'll be getting back to the boat around 3 or 4 a.m. Actually, I won't be coming back tonight, that's right. I gotta work till about 4 a.m. Then I have an 8 a.m. call elsewhere tomorrow morning. And then I'll be there all day, and then I have another back-to-back load out to load in at the same venue. So I'm not gonna be back here till Monday morning at the earliest. And it's probably going to rain, and I would like to be at a point where I can leave the tarp off tonight before I go back to work. We'll see about that. And if I do that, it'd be better than having to cover these up with something else. I'm not going to bed them or anything. I don't think I have appropriate screws. I'll probably just tack them in place with drywall screws for now. Some kind of filler piece will have to go in there, obviously. Gotta make that better. I don't like that at all. Why? What is it? The tank is going to come to about here on this side, so I might be able to make use of that space for little things. It provides access to, the fillers are actually going to wind up farther forward than they were before. They were about here before. But I'll still have my vent tube. There'll be some fittings on the tank I have to get at. And to strap them down, it might really help me to have access here to make a support and strap them down. With this one, I got to watch out. I got to go forward with this because I have the engine control box here, the throttle box. But I've got that vertical rod right here, so I got to be super careful cutting past here. Oh, that's pretty gruesome, but it'll work. Yeah, it was much more challenging with this one because I don't have room to swing the jigsaw. I see now, though, looking at this closer, what probably went wrong on the other side is that my cuts aren't square especially in the corners. So I'll go back and at some point and pop that off and square everything up a little bit. Might even put epoxy, penetrating epoxy around these edges. Can't hurt. I know it's not going to fit, but I just got to take a look. That's close. Yeah, just got to open that up a little bit. That was easy. And it'd be nice to keep that radius, but not the end of the world. A little tight at the top. Oh, there's still material in there. In order to see that, I have to like get upside down and put my head here. I can't see what I'm doing too well. Epoxy in there. It's tough as iron. Okay. That's pretty goofy.